It was the morning after. The digital world had gone quiet in the night and woke to a dawn like no other. For one rare morning, the usual cacophony of pings and buzzes didn't pierce the air. No phones vibrated with notifications or scrolled with new updates. It was just the wind whispering through the canyons of glass and steel, carrying with it the faintest hint of possibility. First light touched the jagged peaks of skyscrapers, painting them gold for a moment before the sun rose higher, bathing the rooftops in a warm glow. Down in the streets, the air was still, heavy with the anticipation of a world waking up anew. From behind drawn curtains, shadows emerged, stretching like sleepy cats in the nascent light. They yawned, not because they were tired, but because something felt different, exhilaratingly so. As the sun climbed higher, more figures joined the awakening city. Some hurried, purposeful, driven by habits ingrained after years of relentless urgency. But many more moved slowly, eyes downcast, taking in the quiet beauty of a world unfiltered by the glow of their devices. In this hush, the echoes of a different kind of life resonated. A dog barked in the distance, its sound echoing with unfamiliar sharpness. The creak of an old wrought iron gate surprised the ear, attuned to a new silence. A distant church bell chimed, its solemn toll reverberating through the empty streets. In this quiet, sounds once drowned out now filled the void, whispering tales of a city rediscovering itself. Close by, a vine had found purchase on a crumbling wall, clambering upwards with the tenacity of life reclaiming what was once its own. Through a crack in the pavement, purple wildflowers pushed their way up, their delicate blooms a splash of color against the gray concrete. As the hours passed, faces appeared framed by doorways, not holding phones aloft, but turned towards the sky or the buildings opposite, drinking in the sight of a silent morning. Some smiled at the prospect of this strange new day, others simply nodded in acknowledgement, a gesture stripped bare of its digital context, a silent salute to the dawning reality, and then there were voices, soft murmurs weaving through the air. Not the amplified tones of news anchors or YouTubers, but the gentle flow of human speech, unmediated and amplified. To women on a stoop shared news, not of global upheavals, but of personal triumphs and everyday joys. A man on a bicycle called out to a friend, his voice hoarse from disuse, unused to carrying its sound across empty streets. These encounters were unplanned, unscripted, devoid of the artificial barriers that separated people in the old world. A young girl walking her dog stopped to share a smile with a passerby, her heart untouched by the cold indifference of online interactions. An elderly gentleman stood by the entrance to his building, tipping his hat to those passing by, his face a map of a life well lived. People stopped to look at a mural, their appreciation unhindered by the urge to capture it for Instagram. They ran fingers along the weathered grooves of an ancient stone fountain, feeling the pulse of history beneath their touch. Some sat on steps leading to nowhere, content to just watch the city come to life around them. And children played, shrieking with laughter as they chased each other through the empty streets. They rediscovered the simple joys of hopscotch on the sidewalk and the intricate rules of 20 questions under the shade of a tree. They built towers out of fallen leaves and raced pigeons across the park, their imaginations ignited by a world no longer mediated by screens. Everywhere, the scent of rain on dry concrete mingled with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafting from a nearby cafe. The air was sweet with the smell of baking bread from a neighborhood bakery, its deliciousness unmasked by the usual haze of exhaust fumes. Barefoot on rough brick, with toes sinking into soft earth, the city feels so alive, doesn't it? There's something magical about the texture of a forgotten book resting on a park bench, whispering stories just waiting to be discovered. The sound of turning pages is such a sweet escape from all that digital chaos. Picture finding an old gem, its pages yellowed and ready to draw you into its world. It's these little moments that remind us how special reading can be, connecting us to stories in a slower, more meaningful way. Honestly, what could top that? Colors were more vibrant, shapes sharper, textures more nuanced. The city, usually blurred by the glow of phone screens, now unveiled its full glory. Every detail, every nuance, every story etched in stone or steel was brought into focus. Then, imperceptibly, almost apologetically, human activity began to seep back into the streets. Bicycles with their soft whirring wheels returned, followed by the rhythmic tap of walking shoes on the pavement. People started gathering, not in front of glowing screens, but face to face, bartering, trading, sharing, their voices mingling in the air. Small vendors set up shop, displaying their wares on mismatched tables, their laughter mingling with the clink of coins exchanged for handcrafted treasures. A lone musician tuned his guitar, each note ringing out with a clarity that made hearts pause and listen. All around, the city stirred, not to the jarring beat of car horns, but to the gentle pulse of life resuming. And yet, it was different, calmer, clearer, as if the city itself was holding its breath, afraid to break the spell of this newfound tranquility. And as the day wore on, the question echoed through the silent streets. What truly mattered in a world where the digital noise faded to a whisper, and what would we choose to rebuild? This is a video about the city, but also a video about you, about your life. We wanted to show you a world where the digital noise fades away, where the rush of notifications and the buzz of screens falls silent. Because in that silence, we believe there's a story worth telling, a story about reconnecting with the world around us and with ourselves. The idea came to us during a moment of quiet reflection. We realized that in the midst of our busy lives, we often let the digital world overshadow the beauty that surrounds us. So we decided to do something bold, to step away from the digital noise and to bring you a story that embraces the power of silence. We hope this video has touched you, has made you feel the quiet wonder of a world without digital distraction. Remember, in the grand tapestry of life, moments of quiet are not just pauses, they're revelations. They're chances to reconnect with the rhythm of the world and with the melody of your own soul. So go on, take a moment to unplug, to breathe deeply, and to appreciate the symphony of life that plays on even when the digital music fades away. Don't forget to like this video if it resonated with you. And here's another video that might also touch your heart. Thank you for watching. Until next time.